You're recording. Thank you. Gonna get a little bumpy.
Off to the front right of the boat, over the wall there. As we came through here, you heard the bells ringing of St. Joseph Catholic Church. St. Joseph Church is actually a German-built church. It has a Gothic architecture style. The cornerstone of that was laid back in 1868.
Yes. I'm out. Let me get out now.
Off to the front left of the boat, over the wall there, you'll see the Hilton Palacio del Rio Hotel. That hotel's in the Guinness World Book of Records as the fastest modular-built hotel in the United States. They needed a hotel built really quick for the 1968 World's Fair, so they contracted a company by the name of H.B. Zachary. They built the first 4 floors right there on the river. While that was being done, they were actually manufacturing all of the hotel rooms at a factory of theirs south of San Antonio. There's 500 rooms total. Everything and anything you can think of that's inside a hotel room was built in that factory. It's sort of like a mobile home, is the way they built them. Once they were completed, they shipped them over here on a flatbed truck. Then they took a huge crane, stacked them on top of each other, sort of like Legos. Got them all in position. Once that was done, all they had to do then was hook up the electricity, the plumbing, and the elevators. And that hotel was done in 202 days. Now what really makes it fascinating is that it's not like today where you have the metal structures. When we come around the turn here, look at their patio door areas. Notice how thick the walls are, because each room is actually made out of concrete. The entire hotel is 100% concrete. And because it is built out of concrete, they say that this hotel is earthquake resistant and bomb resistant. Something you don't hear about. Palacio del Rio actually means Palace of the River. Another area where you can get tickets for tours. You know, I don't know how old these trees are, but these are pretty old trees. They're huge.
Yes, it is.
It's a great question.
I mean, if probably nobody guessed.
Yeah.
Come on. I see that.
Coming up here to my left is La Vita. La Vita means little village. Back in the 1700s, the Spanish colonial soldiers came through here, and they built homes all throughout the village area. In fact, there's 2 restaurants here, Little Ryan Steakhouse and the Fig Tree Restaurant. Those are German-built homes by German settlers in 1850. Today, La Vita is a artisan community where they've taken all the homes and turned them all into art and craft shops. At the base of the village here is the Arneson River Theater. To my left is the stage, to my left is seating for 800. To my right is the stage. In fact, if you look behind the stage here, you'll notice 5 brass bells hanging. These 5 brass bells represent the 5 San Antonio missions, the center one being for the Alamo itself. In fact, on that center bell, it has written on there, in honor of Robert H.H. Hugman, concept architect. Robert Hugman being the designer of it. When he turned his plans in for the Riverwalk, he actually turned them in 10 years before them starting the building of it in 1939. He turned them in 1929. At that time, he was only 27 years old. He was a high school graduate right here in San Antonio from Brackenridge High School. Then he went to UT Austin. In his original plans, he wanted those bells hung up there, but they never got done. It wasn't until about 1978 somebody noticed it. They donated the bells and hung them there in his honor. We have a lot of performances done there in the Arneson River Theater. In fact, Sandra Bullock and Miss Congeniality in this film there. Just a few weeks ago, we had ABC Extreme Home Makeover film there as well for their last show that's going to be shown in December. Coming up in front of us is Cressa Street Bridge. Back in the 1800s, well, Cressa means barricade or dam in Spanish. And in the 1800s, they had to divert the water out to the Mission Concepcion. The way they did it is through an old aqueduct. Up underneath the bridge off to my left, you'll notice going up underneath the sidewalk the remains of that old aqueduct, actually. Right, going back up in there. It's hard to see at night, but it's just fascinating their will and how they did things. Coming up here to the front right of the boat is that small island I was talking about, the root ball of this cypress tree with that metal structure on the corner of it. That metal structure is actually known as Father Massenet's table. Father Damien Massenet was the one that held the first mass service here on the river on June 13, 1691, when they named the river after San Antonio. So they place that there in his honor. This island is also known as Marriage Island. We have marriages performed there all throughout the week. Isn't that incredible? Navarro Street Bridge here, this is known as the Old Mill Crossing. If you had grain you need ground up, you'd take it to the mill, you'd hitch up your wagon to your horse, and this area of the river you would cross. The river was very shallow here, the ground was hard packed, made it easy. They can actually come through here and cross the river without having to unload and reload the cargo. Building with the green roof, that's actually the Bear County Courthouse. It's the longest continuous running courthouse in the state of Texas since 1896. It's made up of a block granite and a red sandstone. Now this building here to my left